HB 3132. How the Selecting Neutral Accreditors Act becomes a tool for LGBTQ plus erasure. HB 3132 orders every Oklahoma Higher Education Board of Regents to review each accrediting agency and determine whether that agency has used any DEI practice or procedure in the past 5 years. If the answer is yes, the institution must begin the process of switching to a different accreditor. The bill also authorizes the Attorney General to demand information from accreditors, presume any accreditor is guilty of DEI use if they do not respond, allows the state to void accreditation agreements, and empowers the Attorney General to investigate and enforce compliance. This is not a symbolic bill. It is a state-mandated purge of DEI from higher education. DEI is the umbrella under which colleges support LGBTQ plus student centers, inclusive housing, anti-bullying and anti-harassment programs, LGBTQ affirming counseling, faculty and staff training, campus climate protections, and inclusive curriculum development. When DEI is removed, these supports collapse. HB 3132 forces institutions to choose between keeping their accreditation or maintaining LGBTQ plus affirming programs. Accreditation is existential. Without it, degrees lose value, federal aid disappears, and institutions cannot operate. So universities will eliminate DEI to survive. And when DEI disappears, LGBTQ plus safety disappears with it. LGBTQ students rely on DEI structures for mental health support, crisis intervention, identity affirming spaces, reporting mechanisms for discrimination, inclusive curriculum, and peer support networks. HB 3132 destabilizes or eliminates all of these. The consequences include increased bullying and harassment, reduced access to affirming counseling, loss of LGBTQ plus student organizations' institutional support, fewer safe spaces on campus, increased dropout rates, and increased mental health crisis. A campus without DEI is a campus where LGBTQ plus students are left unprotected. LGBTQ faculty already face discrimination in hiring, hostile work environments, and lack of institutional support. DEI offices are often the only structure that mediate discrimination complaints, provide training for inclusive classrooms, support LGBTQ plus faculty recruitment and retention. HB 3132 removes these protections. Faculty may hide their identity, avoid mentoring LGBTQ plus students, fear retaliation for teaching LGBTQ plus related content, and leave the state for safer institutions. This bill accelerates the brain drain already affecting Oklahoma higher education. Accrediting agencies often require non-discrimination policies, inclusive campus climates, and protections for marginalized students. HB 3132 forces institutions to abandon accreditors who uphold these standards. This means less academic freedom, more political interference, and fewer protections for teaching LGBTQ plus history, literature, or health, as well as increased censorship for the faculty. The bill replaces academic standards with political ideology. When DEI is removed, bias incidents increase, reporting decreases, students lose trust in institutions, and marginalized groups become targets. LGBTQ plus students, especially trans students, experience the sharpest rise in harm when DEI is dismantled. HB 3132 creates a campus environment where discrimination is easier and accountability is harder. Trans students rely heavily on DEI supported services, name and pronoun change processes, inclusive housing, gender affirming counseling, crisis support, and staff trained in trans issues. HB 3132 undermines or eliminates all of these. Without DEI, trans students lose institutional recognition. Housing becomes unsafe. Mental health risks increase. Administrative processes become hostile, and discrimination becomes harder to report. This bill is a direct threat to trans students' safety and survival. DEI offices often provide funding, advising, event support, conflict mediation, and administrative protections. Without DEI, LGBTQ plus students or student groups lose institutional legitimacy, access to resources, and protections from hostile administrators or student governments. This weakens LGBTQ plus community networks and isolates students. Accreditation agencies often require non-discrimination, inclusive practices, and equitable treatment. HB 3132 forces institutions to abandon accreditors who uphold these values. This risks loss to federal financial aid, loss of degree credibility, and loss of transferability, institutional instability. The bill jeopardizes the entire higher education system to target DEI. Even though LGBTQ plus people are the primary targets, this bill harms everyone. Students lose accreditation stability. If institutions are forced to switch accreditors, students may face delays in graduation, loss of degree portability, reduced job prospect, and complications with federal aid. Academic programs may lose credibility. Professional programs, nursing, engineering, teaching, they all depend on specific accreditors. Losing them harms all students. Faculty recruitment becomes harder. Top faculty avoid states with political interference. This reduces educational quality for all students. Employers lose confidence in Oklahoma graduates. Accreditation instability makes degrees less competitive. The state economy suffers. Higher education is a major economic engine. Destabilizing it harms workforce development, research funding, business partnerships, and community growth. Students from marginalized backgrounds lose support. DEI supports first-generation students, disabled students, students of color, rural students, and low-income students. Removing DEI harms all of them, not just LGBTQ plus students. HB 3132 is framed as an accreditation bill, but its real function is to eliminate DEI and the protections that it provides. That makes it one of the most consequential anti-LGBTQ plus bills in Oklahoma's 2026 session.